Good morning, Decatur County. This is Nick Messer, and we're here live with Overtime. We have coaches and players in studio, joined this morning by South Decatur girls varsity coach Kristen Hicks. Good morning, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
And boys varsity coach Dustin Traylor's under the weather, so filling in for him today is his assistant, Eric Pittman. Morning, Coach.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Good. We're just going to jump right in this morning. We'll get started. We really didn't have overtime last week. I stopped by for a little bit and filled in on some local schedule changes and things last week, but glad to be back. We do have players in the studio. We'll get to those players in segment 2 today. So if you're listening, we'll run for about 20 minutes or so, and then we will switch over to segment 2 and talk to the players and just get to know them a little bit, find out who they are and some thoughts and things with them. We'll start here this morning with Coach Hicks. Coach, let's just talk a little bit about the season. You guys are floating around 500 right now, and let's just talk about some positives and what's trending upwards for you.
Yeah, so we started strong, started off 5-0, getting the season started. Definitely hit kind of a rough patch in the schedule, really just, a couple tough teams in there with like Greensburg and Columbus, Columbus East. So just tough middle of our schedule, but, I'm really proud of how we've kind of persevered and faced some adversity that we've had kind of in the middle of our season here. And we're at the point in the season where we're hoping as a coach, you're hoping your team's kind of coming into things start gelling, things start coming together, and I'm happy with where we're at right now going into kind of the final stretch.
Yeah, and you guys just played in a tough tournament, Henryville, and
we had Henryville. We had, you might have to help me here. Crawford County. They looked really good, and we got a win against Greenwood Christian.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a tough tournament that was in. Henryville's pretty good. They're a very physical team.
Yeah, so I like going over there to the holiday tournament. We're going to see some teams like we don't see those teams in the season, so it's nice to get kind of a different look, different competition, and going against some good teams, which is always nice.
Yeah, and we always talk on here anyway is, your schedules to get you ready for that sectional, and ultimately that's your goal. You hate to say that, but ultimately your goal is to perform well in the sectional, regional. So sometimes that tougher schedule, you need that to see what your team is all about, really. For
sure. Yeah, really the season in general is just building blocks. You're trying to improve every day, stack days, kind of just grow as a team, and, you hope you're just kind of coming into it right at the end.
Yeah, and you guys performed well. Like you said, you started out hot, 5-0, 3-0 in conference.
Yeah.
7-8, floating around 500, but again, that's you're in the thick of the season, the tough part of the schedule. But one thing that I always talk about on here is, the fans and parents and grandparents and everybody get caught up on scores and things like that, and they don't necessarily pay attention to the day-to-day. So let's just talk about that. What growth are you seeing out of players? Maybe you have some that are performing that you didn't anticipate and some that you did anticipate. Just talk a little bit about how out of the box score and stat sheets. What are we seeing growth wise?
Yeah, well, I think for us, kind of in the middle of this season right now, obviously Taylor went out with an injury, so that kind of forced some things to come to light for us, and really. It was kind of, as a coach, you're just wondering who's going to step up. So, on the court, we had to see some younger players be put in positions that they're not used to being in. They haven't been in, some freshmen that really had a lot of minutes that maybe if Tay wasn't out, that they maybe weren't going to see the floor that much. So, really, I'm proud of those younger girls for stepping up and, giving us some really good minutes. And then, I'm seeing some leadership out of really some sophomore girls that, once again, if Taylor's not, wasn't going to be out, you might not see that. So really I'm proud of kind of just how we've stuck through this really tough month or so, and kind of just faced adversity head on, and really just girls that stepped up when we needed it.
And you're a young team. You have two seniors, correct?
Yeah. We've got two seniors in Lily Murray and Sophie Camper. Really, as far as experience-wise, Taylor brings the most experience to our team. So, two great seniors in leadership, and I'm proud of how they've kind of guided us through this as well.
Just looking ahead, you guys are at Tri coming up
Yeah.
this week. Again, Tri's another physical team.
Yeah.
It just seems like this, these smaller schools, if you will, just seem to be a lot more physical this year than last couple years that I remember.
Yeah, Tri. They've got a good record. They've got a couple really good girls. Definitely some great post players and a really good point guard. So, that's going to be a tough battle on the road for us. But like I said, I'm excited where our team's at right now and the growth that we've had. I think we're ready for that tough competition in a potential sectional opponent. So it's good to see them, see what they have, and kind of prep for end of season.
Yeah, and girls sectional this year is at.
I believe we're at Southwestern again this year, but I think this is the last year. I think it starts
Coach Pittman
then.
Boys is
Tri.
Yeah,
we were Tri.
Tri. We'll switch over since I segued here to Coach Pittman. Again, Coach Traylor's under the weather, so we have Coach Eric Pittman here sitting in for him, so we're glad he's here. So, Coach, kind of the same questions for you. You guys are 5-2, no conference games yet. We talked about that off the air. You got Edinburgh coming up.
Yep. We got Edinburgh North and Southwestern,
Yeah, in a row there. So conference plays getting ready to kick off for you guys, but kind of the same thing. Let's talk about the growth and what's going on in practices and things that everybody's not seeing in the stat sheets.
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, we've got such a unique makeup of our team. We've got 8 seniors and 7 freshmen. So
you guys are the complete opposite of Coach Hicks here.
Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of juniors or sophomores that make up our team. So I think first and foremost, when I think about our team, and I think about the sacrifices that a lot of our seniors have made, like a lot of those guys, because when you winning some ball games and doing some things, like maybe guys don't get as many minutes as they want, or the sacrifice that our young guys are putting in, getting beaten up every day in practice by a bunch of seniors. I mean, it's tough. But I think the thing that we talk about what's working in practice is how we compete. I think that's one of the biggest things that Coach Traylor and I wanted to bring to this team was just that hard-nosed effort, how we compete every day in practice. I mean, there's no matter what drill we have, there's a winner and a loser. And we want guys that are going to be able to compete, because when times get tough, you need a bucket, you need to stop in one of those conference games. You want to be able to rely on those experiences that you had in practice every day. And I think so when I think about our team and I think about kind of the game within the game, or what's happening deep within deep within our team, I think it's a lot about how we work hard and how we compete. And like I said too, when it comes to the actual game itself, I just want to I give a huge shout out to our guys who are making sacrifices to help our team have a little success. And it feels good to be at 5-2. 5-2 is a baseline, though. I mean, we're not excited about 5-2. 5-2 wasn't our goal. Happy to be where we are right now, but we've got a lot bigger things that we want to accomplish.
Yeah, I mean, not looking ahead, because I hate looking ahead on schedules.
We fight that every day, man. Every day. I got 3 guys in here that we try to fight that with too.
And I talk about that on air a lot with the fall show with football and volleyball and cross country and all them. Like, we try not to look ahead, because you guys, like I said, even at 5-2, that's only 7 games. I mean, you still have a substantial amount of your games left to play. So you kind of hate to look ahead. And you're kicking off the conference play. You do have Edinburgh, North Decatur, and again, that's the second one. So that will be the conference one, not the Civil War one.
Correct.
So, and for you guys, that is at North.
Correct.
And so let's just talk about staying on track with this. Just maybe some leaders that you kind of like. Okay, this is our team leader, or maybe some young guys that you're like, okay, I didn't anticipate this, but they've shown that growth. Who are we looking at in those roles?
Man, I think the entire team, but I mean, I got to start with our 3 captains who are here. Caden, Carson, and Drake. I mean, those guys, they show up every day in practice. They show our young guys what it is to win. How to work. But I think at the same token, like I said too, is our young guys. I mean, you got the Carter Tolles of the world who are freshmen, who are really fighting to get some varsity experience, to wanting to get some of those varsity minutes. And those guys are on our scout team, and I think that's one of the things that we talk about a lot, is how good your scout team is to help the ones, how well they play. So I think that there's there's just, man, I could talk about the entire team, about how everybody's grown. Coach and I talk about that all the time, where we were over the summer compared to where we are now. It's been awesome, but at the same time, we got a big step before, where we are now, before we would go to sectional. And I think that's the thing, is every day is a step. And we're taking a step forward or a step backwards, and I'm just proud of the guys for taking those steps forward, for sure.
We'll switch back over here to girls varsity coach Hicks here. You guys, for the most part, have went either no JV or a couple quarters JV. Let's just talk about a little bit about that in terms of future players, youth programs, and things that are going on to help get those numbers up.
Yeah, so it's been my biggest goal once I took this position over, is building the program, and it really starts at the bottom. We've got to get girls in the gym, get them excited about playing basketball, and really hope we instill kind of that passion for it. So, we've got some changes coming with our youth program, which I'm really excited about. And we're getting travel leagues going more consistently now than I think we've ever had, which is important. We're getting good coaches in there to get those girls going. So, it starts at the bottom, and I'm proud of kind of the girls that we have coming up through the program. We got a camp coming up this month here in January, so we've got good numbers for that. In our junior high program, when I look at that, we've got pretty good numbers at the 7th grade group. 8th grade's a little bit thinner, but you're going to see that in a small program with just kind of the ebbs and flows of it. But there's still talent in every grade level, and there's girls that want to play and they're excited about playing, and that's the main thing. And kind of finding, wanting them to kind of hang on. It's hard to hold on to players long term. So, our goal is to, keep those girls excited about playing and hopefully see them at the varsity level. We're thin this year just with JV, so when we have an injury or we have, any sickness or anything like that comes up, we were forced to kind of go down to only a couple quarters JV, which is unfortunate because we've got to get those girls minutes, those younger girls minutes, and get them prepared for varsity basketball. But that's just the situation that we're in, and we're battling through it. It's like I said, those freshmen now are getting varsity minutes, ready or not, they're in it, and I'm proud of how they've kind of performed at the varsity level.
Yeah, it'll get there. I mean, I've seen it grow over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a slow process, like you said. It's the ebbs and flows. It's the roller coaster of being a 1A or 2A school.
Yeah.
It goes in cycles, and when you're up, you're up. It's great and it's amazing. And then, not saying that anybody's down, but numbers wise, it happens.
And
right
it's
now,
everywhere, really. I mean, you look at Batesville and big schools that struggle to get players. So I think it's just a tough time to keep girls, and really I think, Coach, boys have great numbers, but I see it, kind of everywhere, that it's just tough to hold on to players long term.
It's tough in general because schools are losing numbers anyway.
Sure.
And I see that firsthand every day. I mean, we're losing numbers.
Yeah.
Public schools just going down, so it's hard enough keeping them in the classroom, much less participating in things. But what role are your girls taking in that? I mean, do you see a leadership role with them helping to? Yeah,
for sure. I even had Taylor, she stepped in and coached a youth team for me last year. So these girls,
nice.
They step up and, they attend the elementary game. We try to attend one every year. It kind of falls into our season, which makes it tough to go to games. But, they make it a point to make sure that we go to a game of theirs every year. And, like we said, we got a camp that they're going to be heavily involved in. I kind of set the whole thing up, but then I let them run the camp. They're in the drills and they're running it, they're leading it. And it's important for those young girls to see them being those leaders, hopefully kind of get those girls to stick with it.
Right. Switch back over here, Coach Pittman, kind of the same question for you guys. In growing your program, I mean, you have 6 seniors.
We have 8 seniors.
8 seniors, and obviously looking for the future. What are you guys doing in terms of development?
Same. It's 100% about our youth program, and when we look at our current freshmen didn't go really through a formal dirt road, kind of schedule like we have now. And we're really excited about this incoming 8th grade group because they're the last group, or the first group that's gone through this dirt road, and that's one of the things that Coach Traylor and I have emphasized, so much is about the youth program. It's so important when we look at how do you build a program, and it really is about first of all, it's about learning the fundamentals of the game, but it's also about falling in love with the game. So as Coach Hicks mentioned, I mean, we've got some really awesome young coaches who are trying to help not only win some ball games early, but also just trying to get the kids to be excited, learn what it is to play basketball, to be part of a team, all of those things, to fall in love with the game, because it does get more difficult as you compete with everything as kids get older. You compete with work and life and other schools and girlfriends, and everything else is taken away from the basketball. So we just want kids to be able to love the game, get better at the game, and I think it just helps to build a stronger program down the road.
Do you find it because you guys on the boys program, a lot of ball movement? I just want to talk some technical stuff. A lot of ball movement this year.
We could do more. We could do more.
We could do more.
We could do a little bit more.
But definitely, what I'm getting at is you can tell that they're seniors. You know what I mean? You can tell that you have that leadership, and always more, and sometimes too much, right?
Yeah.
But just take us through that and what it's like having the ability to have those seniors, those leaders, to be able to make those switches and know what it takes to be role players.
I'd tell you, having seniors makes coaches seem really smart because, they just make plays. They just go out there and make plays. You can say it and they do it. When you have a freshman that are still learning, I mean, their eyes are still, wide open, and they're scared of the moment at times, and that's no disrespect to freshmen. They just haven't been in it. But with seniors, man, it's been awesome coaching these guys because you just say it and they do it. And the challenge isn't that what they're able to do. The challenge is to keep pushing them to go further and further, even further than maybe even sometimes they think they can go. So, like I said, when you've got a group of seniors like we have, man, they just do so many good things. And we talk about the seniors that are on the court a lot. We got some really talented seniors that don't get a lot of minutes because we've got a really talented team, and so even those guys, like I said, who are able to push and do things in practice, it's awesome. And like I said, seniors make coaching a lot easier because they know what they're doing. They show things. We say it once, and then they show the young guys what to do. It's not complete education at every level.
And Coach Hicks, you're not, I don't want to say on the opposite, but with two seniors, and your strength really lies with the middle game, if you will, that they're not being, they're not freshmen necessarily. One of them I know, is.
Yeah.
And so it's a little different. So just take us through that thought process of getting them to, react on the fly and be able to adjust in a timeout and things like that.
Coach is definitely spot on a lot of that. It's tough, when they're young still and they're just learning, they're learning, spacing and reading things, and that just comes with time and experience, and you can't force that. I mean, you can put them in situations, you can watch film and all those things, but until you're in it and you start experiencing, it's really, really tough. But it's important that you have a group of girls that are eager to learn. I have all coachable girls, so when we do set something up and we run a new play or whatever it might be, or we show film, they're engaged, they want to learn. So it's definitely tough, when you don't have that experience like the boys do. But it gets you excited about the future too, and not to take away what we have right now, because I like the position that we're in, but it gets me excited about the future of our program as well.
I think you nailed it. I think being coachable makes all the difference. Being coachable and being unselfish and understanding your role on the team. Whether you're a role player, you're the scorer, or maybe you're the I can come off the bench, give 2 minutes, and I mean those things make a difference. And that's the stuff that's not the score, that's not the box score that everybody's seeing in the stands. So you nailed it perfectly. and I wouldn't sell your program short either. You guys are very respectable. At
Oh,
7
and
and 8.
I don't want anybody to
And-
take that way because, I'm really proud of our team, the adversity that we've overcome this season. And, we're in a good spot. I feel confident in how we're going to progress through the remainder of our schedule. And, we're just kind of fighting every day and just trying to stack some days
Yeah.
together here. And, I like where we're at.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I'm getting at. So, you guys at 7 and 8, and
Yeah.
3-0 in conference.
Yeah.
I mean, that itself right there tells you that you have.
Yeah.
You're trending on the right track. You have
Yeah.
the right group, and with time and maturity, you guys will be right back. I know the hard part about the smaller schools, and we're all from there, so we know how it is in the smaller schools, is when you have that glimpse of success, it's expected every year. It's expected every day, and I think sometimes fans and parents and grandparents and whomever don't understand, again, the ebbs and flows of the schools, for one, but two, what it takes to stay there.
Yeah, I think it's important for us where we have that high expectation now, as a coaching staff, and as players that got to experience that last year, is they got that feel that of winning, what it feels like to win. So it's having that high expectation because you know what it takes, and you have that standard now, but understanding that there's growth along the way. It's tough when you lose seniors and you've got girls coming up. So you have that high expectation, but also understanding that it is a journey. It's going to take time, and just hopefully you're trending in the right direction at the end of the season.
But with the group you have, it's going to be rewarding when they get there.
100%.
Absolutely, yeah. I agree. Coach, kind of the same thing for you, Coach Pittman. You guys, going back to last year, sectional were very close. I mean, it wasn't like you weren't in the mix of it.
Yeah, 6-point loss in the semifinal. Yeah.
And I remember sitting there watching. I'm like, man, these guys are going to battle back, and it's kind of the same thing as trying to get back to that success and people understanding that takes maturity and patience and growth.
Yeah. You can't just look at a schedule and say there's a win, there's a win, there's a win. You're talking about our conference, man. Our conference is stacked. Waldron's solid, Morristown's solid, North Decatur's always good, Edinburgh's a trap game. There's a lot of talent on our roster, on our schedule. And we got to come out and prepare every game. The first 7 games of the season, we've had 2 or 3 guys who can drop 30 on you at any game, and have actually, we were able to overcome it because we've got a balanced attack. But yeah, success is earned, and I think that's what we're really trying to help these kids understand is every single day is a grind, and we're trying to help them fall in love with the grind, because that's how you get better is getting stronger every day. But yeah, you can't just look at the schedule and say, hey, we're going to get some wins, because we got to go out there and do it. Really happy that we've had some success early. The 2 losses we had were, to a really, really good Tri team that, I feel like we let one slip through our fingers that we could have gotten. But it's always good to see how you can get, how you can lose and how you can prepare after that. And then a really, really good South Ripley team on the road, who's a, top 10 team in 2A. And we gave them a game, and they got us. So it's nice to see that we can still compete with the best of the best. But our next step is how do we beat the best of the best, and I think that's really what we're working towards.
Couple of scheduling things here before we pause for a little break. Going back to the girls again, South Decatur girls varsity looks like. Just a reminder, senior night's coming up June 20th. That'll be before the game.
January. Yeah.
Excuse me, I don't know. January 20th. Yeah, I don't know where I got June from. I guess I'm trying to push us through the weather. So thank you for that. Yeah, January 20th, senior night, and then a rescheduled game at Knightstown, January 13th.
Yep.
A little hiccup in the scheduling and makeup on that. And then on the boys' side, South Decatur boys, Coaches versus Cancer night is January 31st.
Yep.
And we'll talk to players here in a minute, but they're going to the Hoosier Gym this Friday.
Yep.
So that's a good experience. It's always a loud, nice, small atmosphere there.
Yeah, nice and claustrophobic.
It is. Pretty good gift shop for a little place.
Yeah.
Honestly. But fans, be patient. I'll talk a little bit more about that. If you've never been there, it's usually a waiting game. You have to wait for one to come out, one to go in. But it's a great opportunity, so we'll talk about that again. That's Friday, the Hoosier Gym. And then you have a rescheduled for February 14th, 6 o'clock at Jacksonville, correct?
Jacksonville's at home.
Excuse me, home.
Yeah,
6 o'clock, February 14th at home.
You got it.
Okay. So just a couple scheduling things there, and we'll talk a little bit more about the Hoosier Gym and what that means to the players. But we're going to pause here for a minute. We'll be back with Players Live in Studio. I'm Nick Messer, and this is Overtime. Welcome back. I'm Nick Messer. This is Overtime. Joined in studio here by players. We have, we'll start with the South Decatur girls team in studio. We have, I'll let her introduce herself. Go ahead.
I'm Taylor Summers.
All right, Taylor, what position do you play?
I'm mainly a post. Depending on the day, I'll take the ball down or kind of play everywhere.
Gotcha. All right, and here for the South Decatur boys, go ahead and introduce yourself there.
I'm Drake Skaggs.
Caden Drake. Carson Templeton.
All right, what position do you guys play? Drake, Skaggs, start with you.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a forward. and I'm another forward.
Okay. We'll start ladies first here, so we'll switch back over to Taylor. Taylor, let's just talk about your junior this year, correct?
Yes.
Let's talk about your leadership role. Obviously coming off a very successful season last year. Just talk about how that's helped you in your leadership role and how that's going this year.
Well, it's been tough being out for half the season I injured my knee 5-6 games in. So on the bench, it's hard to be vocal, but I still try. So whenever the girls come in for the huddle, I'm able to see things from a different perspective than they are. And it's different coming from one of your teammates than it is from your coach. So I just try and what would my coaches think? What have I seen that I think I could help them, because I do have more experience than majority of the girls that are on the team.
What is your how do you keep the younger players motivated when they get down and discouraged? Because the younger, well, not all the time, but a lot of times younger players get discouraged a lot faster because they think they need to be at the same level as the other players all the time. And so what role do you take keeping them motivated?
A lot of times it's reminding them you're still fresh to the game. The girls you're playing against have a lot more experience. You're going to make mistakes. Just learn from those mistakes so you can grow and be that better player that you want to be.
All right, switch over to the boys real quick. We'll start with senior Drake Skaggs. Drake, you've been in the lineup for a while. How have you seen your leadership change and grow over your 4 years?
Obviously, it's a lot of basketball. 4 years, a lot changes, a lot of different teams, 4 different coaches. There's a lot of stuff changes. I think my leadership changes from watching other people play. I've been under a lot of great players. I've played under Jake Scruggs. I've played under Dorian. There's a lot of good people, a lot of leadership. I take the good and the bad because everybody has their flaws, everybody has their pros. And I think just learning from those guys and seeing how I reacted to how they lead and how I can implement that into myself and lead other young people as well as my teammates here to just do the best that we can.
All right, Caden Drake, senior, go through your leadership role and how that's evolving this year.
Yeah, so at Batesville growing up, I was a JV guy mainly until last year. But it's a big difference between 3A ball and 1A ball. So coming to 1A school, I can teach some of the guys what I had to learn at the 3A level, which is a big difference. But it really helps when you're very experienced in the game and just teaching younger guys how to play the game the right way.
All right, Carson Templeton, senior. What's your leadership role been this year? How's it evolving?
Same with Caden, coming from Greensburg the year before, just helping my guys just grow and just get better.
Drake Skaggs, how do you keep players motivated through the tough times? Coach was on here a minute ago talking about you've been in some really close games, you battled back, and obviously they didn't go the way you wanted, or maybe you were down and you did battle back, take the lead and things like that. How do you keep the younger ones or even these other seniors motivated?
Right. Obviously, basketball, there's super low lows and there's very high highs. And there's a lot that's going to go into playing. Our practices are very tough. They're very competitive, very physical. And, when you're down, it's hard to get up and go into practice the next day because it's going to be physical and you're going to have to exert yourself at a really high level. So to just make sure, just go through your guys, make sure everybody's in a good headspace. Everybody's, enjoying. At the end of the day, it's a game. As much as how passionate we are about it, it's a game. And so you just got to go through those younger guys and even those older guys and make sure everybody's together and having a good time so that at the end of the day, at the end of the season, we can come together and make some good stuff happen.
All right. Caden Drake, same question for you. How do you keep these other seniors and everybody motivated? How do you, especially the young ones, and I keep stressing that because, leaders, you want to create more leaders. So,
right.
Next play mentality, what do you do to keep that going?
Right. So it's a really long season, and like Drake said, battling back from a game loss or something like that, the next day you just gotta lock in and practice. And some of the younger guys, they struggle with that, especially at the JV level. I mean, they don't have the greatest record, as I would say, but I mean, they still come into practice every day motivated and just ready to work because they know that they can at least try to get the next game and push the program forward. So.
All right, Carson Templeton, same question for you. How do you keep people motivated? How do you keep them from hanging their head after a missed shot and get back on defense? What do you do as a leader?
I mean, like both guys said, coming into practice the next day, I believe our practices are very hard, and I believe that we all work very hard. So just letting everybody know that, like, if they miss a shot, just always worry about the next one and just forget about a bad play.
All right, switch back over here to Taylor Summers, junior on the team. Easy question, Taylor. What excites you this year? What's got you excited?
I would definitely say being right now 3-0 in conference, it excites me, like, knowing that we have a chance to win conference, knowing we have a chance to win sectionals again. Like, obviously we made a great run last year, and just I'm really excited to get back there because I know we can do it again.
Okay. Drake Skaggs, what's got you excited this year?
I think there's a lot of things different this year. I think there's a different culture, a different brand of basketball. I think there's a lot of guys that are in here that have the opportunity to do a really good thing. I think we can go far in our tournament. I think we can win our conference. There's a lot of great we can do, and just I think there's a lot of achievements that we can accomplish. As long as we stay together, there's going to be a lot of great things to happen.
Caden Drake, what's got you excited this year?
Probably what excites me the most is just the group of guys that we have. Like, at the beginning of the season, we were just pushing through practice, and now it's finally came to game time, and we're just now beginning the season, and then, like, we got a bunch of conference games coming up, and then especially at the end of the season when we get to cut down the nets is most exciting.
All right, Carson Templeton, same question. What's got you excited this year?
Just the group of guys that we have. We've already started off the year with some big wins, and with conference coming up, I think we can do well. Hopefully, display to our potential and see how the end of the season goes.
Okay. Back over here, Taylor Summers, junior, South Dakota girls. Now for the fun questions that everybody likes to hear. What's your pregame meal?
Oh, depends. There's been a couple games that I may have gotten in trouble because I forgot to eat a meal. But usually I keep it light. Maybe some chicken and rice is a good go-to, or whatever the girls bring on away games.
Now, do you have a pregame ritual? Take me through game day? Like, what's your normal game day routine?
Go to school. Away games, we stay for the meal, and then we'll go. And then every game we try to get there about an hour early. We run like the exact same drills every time, just kind of get a routine so we know the basis of, like, we can get through things quickly, get as much shots up as we can, get a ball in your hands, dribble. Always go in the locker room at a certain time, always at 6 minutes, come back out with like 3 minutes left.
So are you superstitious? Is there something you have to do every game day?
Yeah, so usually we go in the locker room twice. Once like before the 20 minutes starts, and then the second time at the 6 minute mark we always go in a circle, put your right foot forward and you pray. That's like our thing that we do.
Okay. So game day, what song you listening to?
Well, usually we give the benches the aux, and you never know what's coming from them, so it's...
Okay, but if you get to choose, we're going in the mind of Taylor Summers this morning. So what are you choosing? What are you going to play as your warm-up? If I said, what is your entrance song, what are you picking?
My go-to is usually Imagine Dragons. I'll do, like, Believer.
Okay. All right. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. All right, switch over here to the boys. Start here with Drake Skaggs. Drake, what's your pregame meal?
Home games, if I can get a hold of it. I like going down to Sanders, getting yourself a sandwich, getting some carbs in you. Love that place. If it's going on the road, we usually get our little snack bag. We get some stuff in there that we can munch on before the game, just try to get some fuel in us.
Now, was that a shameless plug for Sanders Market in Westport, Indiana?
Absolutely. That place is amazing.
Or are you hinting at game day sandwiches for free or something?
I wish, but there's no NIL down there at Sanders, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It could be here soon.
I've seen it.
Ohio, 2 weeks ago just signed they're going to allow NIL deals. So, Sanders Market, if you're listening, Drake Skaggs is in the market for at least free food. So, sandwich there, okay. Caden Drake, what's your pregame meal?
Yeah, I'd probably say the same as Drake. Just like the sandwich and chips and a lot of water. You got to stay hydrated during the game.
All right, Carson.
Mine's usually just what I have for lunch the day before in school. A few water bottles. That's about it.
Okay. Drake Skaggs, take me through game day. Do you have a specific routine? Do you have any superstitions? Do you have to put your left sock on first? Do you have to tie your right shoe first? I mean, what are you doing on game day?
I would not say I'm super superstitious, but I think I go about game day a little different than a lot of people do. I don't really hype myself up. You know, I think when I look at game day, I kind of look for what sort of adversity could hit and how I can prepare for that. So, like, I know if it's going to be a lot of pressure, a lot of downs, if you mentally prepare yourself for when adversity does hit, then there's not a lot that can stop you, in my opinion.
Okay. Caden Drake, take me through a game day for you. What superstitions, same thing?
Yeah, I'm not
shirt
really
backwards, crisscross style. What do you got going on?
Yeah, I'm really not like the most superstitious guy, but I'd say like on the bus rides there, I normally try to take like a 20-30 minute nap just to try to, refresh before the game, and then obviously just stay hydrated, drink a lot of water. That's about it.
Okay, Carson Templeton, game day. What are you doing? Any superstitions? Anything you're doing the same? You wearing the same socks all year? What are you doing?
No, I don't really do anything crazy, but just like the girls do, we go in and we have a prayer at the 6-minute mark, but other than that, there's not really anything.
So you guys just all game ready all the time?
Pretty much.
All right, Drake Skaggs, what do we listen to? What's your pregame music?
I couldn't pick out a song for you, but I'm a big country guy. Again, I'll listen to some rap here and there, but I'm not a big hyping yourself up. I feel like too much energy is not a good thing, but I think all the guys can agree. We're all country guys, but we like rap here and there.
So if I show up and I'm on the mic introducing you, what song are you coming out to?
Oh gosh, that's tough.
You can't have everybody in the stands crying. Like, what kind of? We talking '90s country? We talk.
Hey,
I'm
open to any country, honestly. I'll listen to all types of music.
Okay, so not really one you would nail down. Okay.
Not really, no.
Caden Drake, if I'm on the mic introducing you, what song we coming out to?
I'd probably say there's some country or rap, but probably some Lil Baby for rap.
Okay, all right. Carson Templeton, if I'm on the mic and they're letting me introduce you, what song you coming out to?
I don't got like a one song, but usually like a big Drake guy or country, but if I'm just getting ready for a home game, just whatever, Drake's putting on Ox.
Okay, so you guys are leaving everything up to groups, okay? All right, on here we do a segment where I call it Final Take, where I let you guys say whatever you want. I'm going to let you guys do that as well, and we'll transition back and we'll let the coaches have an opportunity as well. So Taylor, I'm going to switch over to you here, and this is an opportunity. It's called Final Take. You can say whatever you want. You can thank whoever you want, but the mic time is going to be yours. So I'll give you a couple seconds here while I keep stalling. You can think about it and maybe give a shout out to your dad for all the advice to coming in here and so you ready?
Yep.
All right, Final Take, Taylor Summers, junior, South Dakota girls basketball.
Well, yeah, I want to thank my dad because he kind of helped me get the nerves out. This is my first, live interview, so he helped me get the nerves out. He was like, just make sure you talk a lot. Want to thank Hicks for letting me experience this, putting me in this position to be able to talk on the radio. We're going to have a good rest of the season, and glad to be back.
Okay, and you're back,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I'm back. So I was able to play in the Hauser tournament on the 26th and 27th. I was able to play limited minutes, but now I'm good to go.
Okay, there you have it. Lady of many words. Drake Skaggs, to you, final take.
Obviously, thank you to all the people supporting us and stuff. I think there's a lot of good in the future for both boys and girls. I think we have a big opportunity to win a bunch of big games. I think the girls, they have Taylor back. Obviously, that's huge. Going to help them do a lot. And, just come out and watch. A lot of people that are really hopping on the bandwagon. I think there's going to be a lot of good stuff coming. There's a lot of opportunity for us to string a couple of wins together. Obviously, North, give me a big game. After that, we play – who do we got after North?
We got Southwestern after North.
Southwestern after North, and then we play Edinburgh and Seton Catholic this weekend. Just a lot of opportunity to do some good.
All right. Caden Drake, final take.
Yeah, so I just want to thank my dad because, even after a win or a loss, every time, I'll come back home and he'll already have the game film up on the TV. And whether I do something good or bad, he's always, standing up and, trying to teach me, how to do things. He'll show me, the proper form and to slide your feet, how to box out somebody. So, yeah, huge shout-out to my dad for sure.
All right. Carson Templeton, final take.
I just want to thank all of our fans. And I want to thank my dad, who always helps me just push work a little bit harder, and then just all the guys on team, especially Grace Scudder, who just really helps us come into work. He always has a great attitude. And then another person I want to thank is Caden's dad, Paul Drake, who, good or bad, after the game, is just going to let me know about it.
All right. There you have it. For the players in studio, thank you for coming in. Again, we've had junior Taylor Summers. For the girls' side, we've had senior Drake Skaggs, senior Caden Drake, senior Carson Templeton. Thanks, guys, for coming in. We appreciate it. This is what overtime's all about. We're going to pause real quick, and we're going to bring the head coaches back on and wrap things up for this morning. This is Overtime. Welcome back to Overtime. I'm your host, Nick Messer. Joined in studio again here with South Decatur girls varsity coach Kristen Hicks. And fill in this morning, Coach Traylor's sick, but we have assistant coach Eric Pittman here for the boys program. Going to start wrapping things up. I do just want to walk through this because I chopped it all up earlier. Girls senior night is January 20th, and that'll be before the game. They also have a rescheduled game January 13th, and that is away at Knightstown.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Boys side, Coaches versus Cancer night is going to be January 31st.
Yep.
More details coming soon on that. And then this Friday, and I did not ask the players about this. I totally spaced it. Hoosier Gym game is this Friday.
Yep.
Look for social media for details on times and things on that. And then February 14th, 6 o'clock at Jacksonville.
Home.
At home. I
Home.
did it again.
Yep.
At home, February 14th against Jacksonville, rescheduled. But again, the boys are playing the Hoosier Gym. If you've never been there to Knightstown, it is a thing to experience, to put yourself there, I guess, in cinema history at least, but Indiana basketball history, but very unique. So fans, be patient. Typically, I'm not sure if you guys play first or second, but typically they'll make everybody leave first, and then everybody goes in. Parking's very tricky, so just be patient. It'll be worth it. It'll be an experience. It is a smaller court. You are closer. Cheerleaders are in the stands. Benches are on the baselines, not the sidelines. But it's worth it. The kids will love it. It'll be fun. All right, so we'll start with Coach Hicks. Coach, we'll give you your final take, and you can say whatever you want, thank you whatever you want. It's up to you. So, final take.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to come in and talk. It's always good to kind of just talk about the team and all the great things that are happening, not just within our program, but the boys program and just South Decatur in general. So thanks for having us on. I want to say good luck to our boys. They're off to a great start, and I love what the coaches have done here and the culture that they've built. They've got a great group of boys, and I'm excited to see what they do this season. I want to thank our fan base. I've always felt like we've had a great fan base. They travel well with us, and just the support, you can kind of feel it across the board. But it always is great to see such a great fan base that supports our girls because they deserve it. Really proud of our team and where we're at right now in the season, the adversity that we've overcome. We're at the final stretch here of our season, but I'm excited about where we are, and we've got big goals that we're looking to accomplish this season, and I'm really excited about just the opportunities that present itself.
Okay. And again, 3-0 in the conference, right where you need to be, right where you want to be in terms of conference play. Sectional champs last year, and I wouldn't sleep on you guys this year. I think there's a lot of talent there. And so we look forward to seeing the rest of the season. I don't know if hopefully we can get you back on. I think it'll cycle back around. We'll be okay.
Sure.
I think we got one more show with you guys next month and maybe the end of the month. I don't know. But I think we'll have you back on for a sectional show or something.
That'd be great.
But we'll get you back on. So till then, best of luck, Coach.
Appreciate it.
All right, switch it over here to assistant coach Eric Pittman. Final take.
Yeah, man, I think the same thing. First of all, thanks to Coach Hicks and the girls team. Man, last year that run was awesome. It gave our guys, something to really shoot for. And I think that's what's great about a program. Both boys and girls, to really have some great success. But more than anything, like I want to thank the community. I want to thank thank the fans, thank the parents, thank everybody who's supported us. Drake kind of joked about it earlier about jumping on the bandwagon. There's plenty of room right now for anybody who wants to jump on the bandwagon. But at the end of the day, man, I got to thank our players who are buying in. They're working every day. Like, we love those guys. We love to go to work. And they mentioned a couple times about, practice being tough. It's tough by design. We want to be tougher, so we can do great things. But I hope they know, how much we love those guys and everything that they bring. And, it's a lot of fun. to be able to be out here. But just a huge shout out to the community and everybody who supported us, and also to one of our big sponsors is Tatco and Matt Tapman, who has helped a lot with us, just not only with our golf outing and some fundraising and things to help us get some new uniforms, but he's been a big support. So super excited about what's to come. Really happy about where we are, but want to be really clear that 5-2 is a baseline. It's not the end. So I don't want anybody to think that we've accomplished anything yet, because we haven't. We got a lot of work to do.
Okay. Yeah, not a bad place to be though. 5-2.
I'll take it.
Heading
Yeah.
into conference, that's kind of where you want to be.
Yeah.
A couple early tests. So again, got to be up there sectional favorites, probably with Tri, I would assume. You and Tri, but
I wouldn't sleep on Morristown or Waldron either. I mean, it's a tough sectional.
I will. I'm going to put you and Tri at the top. That's
All right.
that's the overtime sectional predictions there.
All right.
And that's the standard around here, Coach Pittman.
All right. Well, we'll teach you a thing or two about standards.
No, seriously though, I think you guys got a great shot. You're in a great position. Like I said, your 8 seniors alone is an amazing place to be in. And Coach Hicks would tell you probably that's the spot that everybody wishes they were in. You could essentially play 8 players. They're all seniors. If you had to. But you guys are in a great spot. 5-2.
Yep.
Great leadership. Things are trending the right way heading into conference play. And again, I just want to reiterate, this Friday is the Hoosier Gym game. So that'd be exciting. If you haven't been, go check it out. It's worth the visit, worth the wait. And again, watch social media, I'm assuming, for information.
Yeah, we'll post everything on our social media pages.
Everything, because I know tickets, they're limited tickets and things like that.
Yeah.
So, and then they'll sell the extra if there are.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird process, but hang in there if it's something you want to do. Maybe some extras come out of that. But, Coach, thanks for joining us. I wish you guys success. Again, we should have you on here. Again, I'm pretty sure it rolls around. So hopefully we can work it out and get you guys back on here and get some more players on air.
Sounds good.
And everybody loves having those. But, all right, so again, that's going to conclude the South Decatur show. So thanks to South Decatur girls varsity coach Kristen Hicks for joining us in studio with junior Taylor Summers. Best of luck to you, Taylor. Thanks to South Decatur boys assistant varsity coach Eric Pittman for joining this morning. Bringing senior Drake Skaggs with him, senior Caden Drake, and senior Carson Templeton. Thanks, guys, for joining. Always great, and this is kind of the goal with overtime, is to get to this point where we can just have players and give back to you guys for all the sacrifices and things you do. That's the goals with overtime. So we will be back next Saturday, 8 a.m. I'm Nick Messer, and this has been Overtime.